What's up, fellow Blenderites? It's Darius Young back with another tutorial. It's not a tutorial series, this one, but this one is going to be showing you how to do muscle rigging in Blender. Because for the life of me, I still can't find a tutorial on how to do this, and it took me forever to figure out how to do it myself. But I figured it out for you guys, so I'm going to show you how I did it. Now I have an example here. This is a mesh that we're going to use. I'm going to save this and I'm going to show you my previous muscle rigging tests that I did. This is the arm that I have. Okay, and as you see, when I drag this bone up and down, you see that the part representing the bicep flexes up. Okay, now this is because I have, if I go to my bone layers, I actually used a duplicate of the upper arm bone and I made the same rig that you would to make a rig for your fingers. I created a IK constraint on this bone, using this smaller bone, and I parented this smaller bone to this bone right here, and then I put an action constraint on this bone. Now that may sound confusing right now, but I'll show you how I did it. So let's go back to my other file. Okay, so first, if you want to do this on the character, you should already have your rig set up. I don't have IK constraints on here yet, but I will put them on there shortly. This is a fairly new rig. I actually just made it yesterday. So yeah, let's get going. You know, you don't have to have the same exact character. You can use your own character. Doesn't matter. But first, what you want to do is you want to tab into edit mode, and you want to Shift D, duplicate that bone, and go to the bone and name it bicep control. Okay, bicep control .L. Make that an uppercase L. Then you should have duplicated it on the right side too. So name this bicep control .R. Okay, make this a lowercase c. Alright, so now we have that. Now this bone right here, our bicep control, is going to be scaled, and when you scale it, basically it's going to it'll be able to contract the other muscle, the other bones that we're going to make, like you would with a finger rig, and I'll show you in just a second. So duplicate this bone again. Let's just say bicep control 001. Name this bicep. Name this actual bicep .L. And then the same thing over here. If I could select it. Right here, hide one of these bones. There we go. Now, actual bicep .R. Okay. Now hit Alt H. Alright, so now let's go back to this side. Let's move the upper arm out of the way real quick, so hide it so it can't get in the way. Now, what we're going to do with this bone is we're actually going to subdivide it. And we're going to subdivide it three times. Subdivide it 3 times. Okay? And now bring this part out. Okay. And bring this part out. Okay. So now we have like the bulging effect of the muscle here. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we have to make another bone here. We'll hit extrude. Alright. So wait 1 second. Here we go. What we're gonna do actually is we're gonna subdivide this part again. So bring this in. Okay. And then we're going to grab this bone, hit Alt P, clear the parent, then parent it to bicep control. So Control P and hit keep offset. And this bone, this is the bone we're going to put the IK constraint on. So grab this bone and hit Shift and right click. In fact, I should have turned on my screencast keys. Let me see. Start display. You guys can see. Okay. And then hit Shift I to active bone. And then now we want it to go up 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So let's do that right now. So go to your constraints part of your menu here. And set the chain leaf to 4. Okay. Now you see that when I move this bone, you see that it moves like so. Also, when I move the bicep, if I scale the bicep control, you see that the scaling causes these bones right here to move. Okay? Which is exactly what we want. So now what we want to do is we want to add a action constraint to this bone. So the way to do that is, well, first to finish setting up the rig, because if you rotate this now, like you see the muscle, this part right here isn't completely following the bicep control. We want that to happen. So select the bicep control, then select that, hit Control Shift C, copy rotation, and so now everything is cool. Okay. In fact, I don't even think we have to do that. Let me say something real quick. If I just parent it, Control P, keep offset. Okay, good. So just parent that bone to this bone. You don't have to add a copy rotation constraint. Just parent it. Okay? And then everything should still. Oh wait. Oh, that's why I didn't parent it. Because if you parent it, when you scale it, the whole thing just scales down like so. But if you add the copy rotation constraint, however, then that doesn't happen. So, okay. So I think I got rid of it. No, I didn't get rid of it. Okay, it's the same. Okay. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. All controls. No. 1 second. Redo some stuff. Shift control. Ah, shit. Okay, so back to what I was saying about this bone right here. When we add a copy rotation constraint to it, then it'll work right. So let's just do that real quick. Control Shift C, copy rotation, and we're good. So now when I scale it, everything still works right. Okay? So now, how are we going to make this action happen while this bone is moving? Because when your arm moves like this, that's when your bicep contracts. But as you can see, it's not contracting. Why? We haven't added the rig yet. So let's do that real quick. Say Alt R, Alt A, Alt S. Okay? So in order to do this, we must add action constraints. And what an action constraint is, basically you make an animation of what you want and then add a bone to that animation to make it happen. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So go to where it says default up here, click this and go to the animation selection. Okay, now as you can see, now we're in perspective view. Change it back to orthographic. Well, I'll change it back to orthographic because I just like working in orthographic better. Okay, so what we have to do is go to frame 1, make this end at frame 20. Okay, so now we're at frame 1. Hit I and make sure that bicep control is selected. Hit I and go to scaling. Add a scaling constraint. Go to frame 10. In fact, let's enter at frame 21. So let's go to frame 11. So that it could be actually 10 frames that we're skipping. Okay. So go to frame 11 and then scale the bone inward. Okay. All right. And then hit I, and then scaling, and then go back to frame 1. Copy that pose, go to frame 21, and paste that pose. Okay? Now, change this to action editor, and name this action bicep flex.l. Okay, bicep flex.l, and then let me paste the pose again so that I can add a constraint to it. Paste pose, scaling. Okay, so if I set this straight, I meant keyframe. My bad. Okay, so we have that done for that arm. Okay, so now let's go back to default. Okay, and oh wait, before we go back to default, see this thing that we made here? Just hit X. Okay, just get rid of that. So now I'll go back to default, and I'll show you why we did that in a minute. So now select the forearm and then select bicep control if you can. In fact, hide the upper arm so it don't get in the way. H. Now select that and select bicep control. Hit Control Shift C and click action. Now go to the constraint menu, and you see first we're going to change this to X rotation, and we're going to change this to local space. Minimum, just give it a slight minimum, give it a bunch of maximum. Start at frame 1 and at frame 11. Okay, and to action bicep flex.l. So now what that should have done is that now when we move this bone, you see that starts moving. So now in order for it not to move so much, when we get to this point right here, go to the bone and change the maximum and move it up some. In fact, I think we should move this. It's one of these controls you have to adjust. Here we go. It was the maximum. Okay, so we want it to move just like that. Okay, now this is nice and smooth movement right here. Okay, it only moves when you do this. See that? So now Alt H. Oh, I just unhid it. Okay, I thought I did something wrong. Alt R. Okay. So to make this actually move with the to make the mesh actually move with this, we're gonna have to reparent it. So we Alt P, clear parent, and then do this again. Control P with automatic whites. Let it load. This mesh is actually a very high poly mesh that I made, so that's why it took so long. But you can see the fruits of what we did. Now, you see that? See how that's moving? Now you may have to do some, you may have to add some extra bones here, like here, to stabilize these, the muscle movement, so that it's just the bicep. But as you can see, when I move the arm, okay, it's moving. This part is moving with it. Okay, I figured out why that's doing that. We have to turn deform off on this bone, because when this is scaling, that's scaling with it. So now when we rotate it, there we go. It's just this part moving. And we have to turn deform off on this IK bone too. Okay. So now when we do that, it's just moving, or mainly moving the bicep. Now, in order to fix that further, we select this, hit Control Tab. Let's go to the weight paint mode real quick and see what we can do to fix this. So we select this bone, and really we just wanted to mess with the front. So if you click this button, you can see through your mesh. Hit F, move that down. Make sure you want to subtract, turn your weight all the way up, and just subtract. Okay? And so now, you see, when we get Control Tab, and let's hit Z so you can see it clearly. When I rotate my forearm, you see that the bicep is flexing. Isn't that nice? Okay, so this is actually a really easy rig to make. Anybody can make it. And to further make this better, hit Alt H. Select your upper arm, then shift select your bicep control, hit Control Shift C, and add a copy rotation. So then now your upper arm rotates. When your upper arm rotates, if it'll let me rotate it. All rotations are unlocked, so I don't know why it's not letting me rotate my upper arm bone. Let me see. Or did I just add a... I added a constraint to my upper arm bone, didn't I? Let me see. Yep. Okay. If I can select the right bone. So, select that, Control Shift C, copy rotation. There we go. So now when I rotate my upper arm bone, my bicep control goes with it, while it still has this action constraint on there that is enabling my muscle to flex. Okay? So this is just a quick, easy muscle rigging tip. I know it was frustrating me for the longest time. I didn't know how to rig the muscle until I tried this out. So hopefully, I hope you all found this helpful. Further make this better, because I see this bone right here. It's still giving it some weight problems. So I want you all to get the final result that I'm going to get. So I'm going to go through all the steps I do to clean it up and everything to make sure that I get it right. I don't want to leave you all hanging, especially because I haven't given you all the tutorial in a while. And they're all like, well, what happened to my favorite blender dude on YouTube named Darius? Yeah. I know I'm your favorite, but it's okay. I'm back now. And better than ever. Oh yeah, and what did you guys think of my latest video, my Velociraptor time lapse? Let me know in the comment section below. For all you guys out there that haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel for a bunch of Blender tutorials and how-tos. And my next tutorial that I'm doing on YouTube is going to be modeling Vegeta, so that's going to be fun. And I'm going to get started working on my Goku vs Superman animation as well. Also, I'm making a tutorial series that I'm going to be putting on a website that is, you're going to have to pay for it, but it's going to be very high quality and everything. I'm going to have better sound, better, you know, better, easier ways to follow things, and this is going to be really fun. And I'll show you how to create your own character. Because right now I'm just showing you how to make I'm showing you how to make characters that you know everybody else knows. That tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make your own characters. I'm going to bring you through step by step how to make your own characters, how I make my own characters, and how you can do it as well. So, before I close off, I just want to finish my demo here. So, alright. So now that you see that and then to further make this look better, we can simply hide all of these bones. Well, not hide them, move them to a different bone layer. So let's go here, hit move, and put them. I always put them on the bottom. Whenever I'm moving bones, I always put them on the bottom layer. Move, bottom. Alright. So now all we have is our upper arm, which still rotates the arm nicely. And then we also have, so if I rotate this down, we also have our movement here where the arm flexes. So, hope you all enjoyed this tutorial. Hope you all have learned something from it. I hope this tutorial was easy to follow. If you need me to clarify anything, please let me know in the comment section. Also, please like and subscribe to my channel for a bunch of Blender stuff. I'm starting a new segment on my channel called Dragon Ball Z Talk, where I talk about everything Dragon Ball Z, because I am a big Dragon Ball Z fan, and I love that show to death. I think it's the greatest show ever created. But you know, that's just me. So yeah. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.